Hey everybody, I'm John with California Leasing. Super honored to be here today with a guy who really knows what he's doing in real estate, really knows a lot about real estate, and that man is Jim Mangassarian. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, John. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, I love having you here. I mean, I love geeking out on real estate and talking about what's going on and trends, and you have a lot of experience that I don't have, so this is going to be fun for me too. But let's start with the basic stuff. How long have you been doing this?
Wow, that goes back to May of 1982.
May of 19... in Santa Clarita?
When I started in Santa Clarita.
Okay, awesome.
I'll give you a quick story. It's a funny story. I was always interested in real estate, ever since I was in high school.
Okay.
When I was 16 or 17 years old, I went and took the license test.
Wow.
And I flunked because I cheated from the lady sitting next to me. And I dropped the whole thing at that point, went to college, graduated, started working in the insurance industry for 6 years.
Okay.
Then one day I decided, you know what, real estate is what I really want to do. I dropped the whole thing and came in Santa Clarita.
Awesome.
And the way I chose Santa Clarita, at the time, back in 1982, interest
wasn't
rates,
even a city yet.
and the interest rates were 18 to 21%, if you remember.
Wow.
I used to sell stereos in a local swap meet here. That's
Okay.
how I paid for my college days. So I remembered Santa Clarita, and when the option came up, Coldwell Banker was at the time hiring. I said, I'm coming from a corporate environment. Coldwell Banker is a corporate environment.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. So I came, and I started in May of 1982.
That is amazing. So the way I first saw your name is just driving down Railroad down into Newhall. I see your name all over in there. And I don't do commercial. I don't know commercial. I love talking about commercial and reading about it, but I know you do some commercial, but can you tell us, is that all you do is commercial real estate?
No, actually not. I pretty much do everything in real estate you
Okay.
can think of. And I've done everything in real estate. Started obviously with residential, and that evolved after several years of residential. That includes condos, townhouses. I did a lot of ranches in those days.
Okay.
One of my clients needed something in commercial and asked me to help him out. I said, well, let me refer you to someone that knows what they're doing.
Right. That's
No.
what we're taught, right? When we're
Right.
in residential.
And he says, no, I want you to do it. I said, fine, I'll do my best. So I jumped in it with both feet, got it done for him, and then started taking some classes and courses.
Yeah.
And that just led into more and more commercial situations.
Yeah. Well, now your name is all over the pearl of Santa Clarita Valley, which is Old Town Newhall. And I love seeing that stuff. So what brokerage are you with now?
I'm with Realty Executives
Okay.
in Santa Clarita. I've
Excellent.
been with them ever since they first opened.
Wow. When was that?
Well, I started in 82 with Coldwell Banker. That was about 5 years of that. Then Merrill Lynch recruited me and hired me. I was with Merrill Lynch maybe for a year or two.
Okay.
Merrill Lynch was bought out by Prudential California Realty.
Okay.
And as soon as they bought us out, they decided to close 55 of the stores, and we were one of them. So at that time, I started looking around, and Realty Executives.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember Richard Groman. He was opening up the first office on the other side of the 5 freeway, and I went and saw what I liked, and I said, I'm joining.
Yeah,
So
awesome. And
I
you've been
joined.
with them ever since, huh?
I'm the
That's
only one
amazing.
remaining with them. I'm the first and the
Were
only
you
one
before
remaining.
or after Jim Tanner?
Well, Jim Tanner is one of the owners.
Was he a founder?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He started the thing with Richard Groman. Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
absolutely.
I know Jim. I love Jim and his wife. Well, that's very cool. So let's change directions a little bit. We all know the media likes to print or talk about whatever sells. Typically, that's negative. There's a ton of negativity right now surrounding the real estate market, both the residential, but very much so office, retail. But there are still deals being done. There are still people buying and selling. So what would you say to someone who was considering buying an office building right now? Is this a good time? Is this not a good time? And why?
Well, the office market is probably the only one in commercial that has suffered the most since the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
And everything. But we're finding a lot of people, not everyone, of course, but a lot of people are getting tired of working from home.
Yep.
Some people will always remain and work very comfortably from home.
Right.
But others, like myself,
I got to go into the office too. I get it. I don't get
never
anything
work
done.
from home. So we see a lot more people coming back into the workforce. So
Okay.
offices are starting to pick up. But as far as commercial goes, retail has always been fairly strong, still strong. What's the strongest is the industrial market.
Industrial's the strongest.
Industrial properties sell the quickest.
Huh.
And there's big demand for industrial type businesses.
Okay.
Unfortunately for Santa Clarita, the city is constantly pushing the industrial further and further
Right.
out. Because I have recently listed several land properties off the Sierra Highway. The first one I listed is just outside the city limits in LA County, which would have been perfect for an M1 property, but the city had changed it to a CC, community commercial.
Did they annex that part and then rezone it?
It's
Or-
been rezoned for a couple of 2 or 3 years
Okay.
now, maybe a little longer. But basically, that eliminated all the industrial type uses. And I was getting tons and tons.
Yeah,
of
so
phone
now
calls.
there's more demand and less supply on the industrial side. Very interesting. And then, what would you say to someone who wants to buy a home right now? Is this a good time for someone to buy a home on the residential side?
I've been taught to answer that question with anytime you want to buy a home is a good time to buy
Right,
a home.
especially if you need a home, right?
Right. So there's always going to be people who are going to buy homes regardless of the market.
Yeah,
It's probably not the best time for investors who want to make a quick buck. Let's
Okay.
put it that way. The turnover situation or the fixed flip type
right.
situations.
Flippers, yeah.
But if you're buying a home that you're going to be in 7-10 years, you're not going to lose any money over
Right.
time. Market will always come back. The roller coaster effect has been around for the 40 years I've been in the business.
You've been
And
watching it for a long time.
And we always see this. I started with 19 to 21% interest rates, right?
Right.
When I bought my first home, my interest rate was 10.5%. And I thought, boy, that's a lot of money. All of a sudden, everything is down to 2%.
Yeah, right.
And now it goes back to 7. People think, wow, that's the end of the world. So interest rates will always fluctuate. I would say it's still a good time to buy because you probably are going to get a little better value now. And then you get
Because the rates are high?
right.
So there's some
rates are higher.
downward pressure on the prices.
And then a couple of years from now, when rates drop, you refinance it. That's what people do.
I could not agree with that sentiment more. So, very cool. Well, I think if somebody had questions about commercial or residential, what's available, I know you were sharing with me earlier that you have access to listings that aren't listed, but you know the owners and you know that they're interested in selling. What's the best way for somebody to get a hold of you if they have questions?
Call my number. My office is 661-286-8600.
Awesome.
My extension is 6697.
Okay.
Or you can call me directly on my cell phone, which is 661-904-9383.
Awesome. Well, I'm telling you, if you watched this, this man has more real estate experience in his pinky finger than most of us have in our entire body. And if you want to get at that knowledge, the only way you can do that is to call him, text him, set an appointment, ask some questions, get the information, make the good decision.
Sounds good. I'd be happy to help anyone who wants to know anything about real estate.
Awesome. You know I love geeking out about it, so I appreciate you coming in today and taking some time to talk.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Good seeing you.